This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what we discussed yesterday was the overall process of WIP, variance, and settlement. Okay, and what we covered yesterday was the product costing by order, right? Because in the product costing by order, the order is settled in full. Okay, but if you want to do the settlement every periodically, okay, in that case, we need to create a production order in which the settlement is possible every monthly. Okay, so I'll go to the configuration. Let's go to SPRO. Okay, IMG, and then let's go to controlling. Okay, within controlling, let's go to product cost controlling, cost object controlling, okay, and product cost by period. Okay, and in this one, I'll go to basic settings. No, let's go to product cost collectors. Check the order types, okay, and you have this define the cost accounting relevant default for order types. Okay, so here if I go for, maybe I'll create a new entry, okay, but order type I'll be using PP02 or something, or maybe let's go with this one itself. Let's copy this, okay, and plant is S001. So let's continue with this RM01. Let's see if you are able to use, because normally SAP provides the order type which can be used for the this one, like you need to do the settlement every periodically. Okay, what is appearing here? No, this is not correct. Just give me a minute. In this system, I'm not able to see any order type which is going to settle every periodically. Okay, yesterday I think we stopped here, but I have not got the chance to see after that. So okay, forget about this. Maybe I will come to you on this. We will start this topic in the next session. Okay, because we need an order type which is settling periodically. So what we will do today is we will start with the COPA. Okay, and this product costing by period, I will make sure that the order type is ready which we can use, because if the production order type itself is not available, then we will not be able to proceed. Okay, so let's start a new topic, okay, which is product costing, sorry, which is profitability analysis. So let me close this. I don't want to close this as of now. Let it remain open. Maybe if I can open a new file, new notepad. Yes. Okay, so what we will do now is profitability analysis. Okay, which you already know, which is also called as CO, which means controlling module, and PA is profitability analysis, which is COPA. Okay, so now what is profitability analysis, or what is COPA? Can you tell me what is the purpose of COPA? Why we need COPA? Like when you are visiting the customer, and if customer is giving you your requirements, their requirements, so in that case, when will you recommend them to go for COPA, and when you will feel that no, there is no COPA reporting required here? Okay, what kind of reports you can generate in the COPA? Is it a sales report? Is it a cost report, or what exactly?
I think it's a cost report regarding have to analyze the profit, how much we are getting.
Okay, so profitability reports, right? In short, profitability reports. The component name itself is profitability analysis. See, if you see the description itself, profitability analysis means what? Profitability analysis means you can analyze the profits in different ways. Okay, so you, in a company, whenever you are making any profit, the most important thing is the profitability reporting. Okay, so who gave me what profit? That is something which you can get easily from the profitability analysis. So profitability analysis is required for profitability reports. Okay, when we say profitability reports, most importantly, profitability reports based on different dimensions. Based on different dimensions. Now, what are these dimensions? These dimensions are also called as characteristics. Okay, they are also called as market segments. Okay, so there are different names, but it is one and the same thing. What exactly it means is that you are getting the report in different dimensions. Okay, I'll give you the practical example in one of the client where we activated COPA. So this was a distribution company. Okay, they were into distribution of IT hardware, which means they were selling the laptops, computers. Okay, it was a wholesaler. It was not like a retail shop. It was a wholesaler who was exporting the material from exporting the uh, computers, laptops, printers from all over the world. Okay, so there were some brands which were coming from China. There were other brands which were coming from other parts of the world. So they were exporting and then they were selling it into the Indian market. Okay, so in Indian market again they were selling to the B2B. It is not like a customer is coming and directly buying. It was to the B2B, which means to the distributors. Okay, so they had a requirement that they want to see their profitability reporting based on, so let's say these are the requirements. They want to see the profitability reporting based on the product. Okay, so now what are the different kind of products that they have? They have the products like HP, they have the products like Dell, they have the products like Lenovo. Okay, they have the products like whatever Acer. So these are all the products that they were dealing with. Okay, so they wanted to see the profitability, how much profitability we made for HP, how much profitability we made for Dell, what was the profitability for Lenovo, and not only single dimension. They also want to know profitability branch wise. Okay, so they had different branches. In India, they have around 40 branches. Okay, so branches in the sense they had a distribution center where they have the stock maintenance. So whatever they purchase at one location and then it is sent to different locations within India. Okay, so branch means let's say they have the branch in Ahmedabad, they have the branch in Bangalore. Okay, so I'm going with the this one alphabetical. So they have the branch in Chennai, for example. Then they have the branch in Delhi. Okay, then Faridabad. Okay, so like this, Pune, Mumbai. Okay, everywhere, around 40 different cities. Okay, so maybe etc. So these are the different branches that they have. So one requirement is they want to see product wise, another requirement is they want to see branch wise. Not only branch wise, again, they wanted to see their reports region wise. Okay, so although the branch information is available, but they still want to summarize it with east, west, north, and south. So these are the regions. Okay, again, this is not enough. They also want to see the information salesperson wise. Who sold this material? Okay, so within each branch, they have some 5, 6 salespersons who are responsible for the sales. Okay, so salesperson. You can keep on adding. Okay, let's say there are 8 to 10 different dimensions in which you want to see the report. So maybe what we will do when we set up the operating concern for our own reporting, we will go with this structure. Okay, I'll show you how you can track the product wise, branch wise, region wise, salesperson wise. So as of now, let's keep this 4 different dimensions in which we want the reports, right? So now if you want these reports, we need to create them as characteristics. These are called as characteristics, or they are called as market segments. So you are doing a segment wise reporting. Okay, this is only possible in profitability analysis. Okay, because you can create product as profit center, you can create branch as business area. That's it, right? There are no other dimensions which are available in normal SAP. Okay, so you can either do the product wise report or you can do the branch wise report. But if you have multiple dimensions, then it will definitely become difficult to perform your reporting, right? That is only possible with profitability analysis with COPA. Okay, now when we talk about profitability, okay, profitability is different thing. Let me tell you what exactly is profitability. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so profitability reporting, profitability can be understood in two forms. Number one is period accounting, and number two is cost of sales accounting. Any idea what is the difference between period accounting and cost of sales accounting? Any idea? Have you heard about these terms? No idea? Anyone? Okay, so period accounting means the accounting that we do for FI. Normally in our financial accounting, if let's take the scenario. I will put down the example here. So this is the example. You tell me what will come in period and what will come in cost of sales accounting. You got an order for 100 quantity of material. Okay, out of which in a month, okay, let's say you got this order on 15th of April 2019, right? In a month, you were able to deliver and bill. Okay, so you already delivered and billed to the customer how much? Only 20. You were able to deliver only 20 quantity in a complete month, which means till 30th of April 2019. Okay, so you got an order of 100 quantity, but you were only able to bill 20 quantity out of it. Now next is the cost of goods sold. Okay, whatever goods you have sold is booked only for 20 till now in accounts, right? In accounts it is still only 20. Now looking at this information, can you tell me what will come in period accounting and what will come in the cost of sales accounting? In the period accounting, it will only talk about a particular period, whatever has been done on 30th of April 2019. It will not consider this 100 quantity. It will just consider that total sales is for 20 quantity and total cost is for 20 quantity. Okay, so in the period accounting, it will consider only billings which are done in a particular period. Okay, it will not consider what is your sales order. It will just consider what has been done in a particular period. Whatever accounting has been done in a particular period. Okay, but in cost of sales accounting, it will consider even the sales orders which are open, even the sales orders which are open. Okay, I'll give you another example of this. So here what will happen is, now the question is that if my sales orders are open, then why I am considering them? Why I am considering them in the reporting? If I ask you the simple question, there is one salesperson who has made the sales, who has done the sales of 100 quantity. He got an order of 100 quantity. Okay, but we are still able to deliver 20. So what do you think the incentives for this salesperson would be based on how much quantity or how much order he got or how much we were able to deliver? Can you tell me? If I want to see the profitability of salesperson, will I, like, if I want to see the not profitability, let's say, if I want to see the productivity of the salesperson, whether he has done good or bad, so I'll be considering the total order quantity or the quantity that we delivered or build.
Total order quantity.
Total order quantity. Yeah, total order quantity. Why? Because the salesperson is actually has given the order. He has got the order from the customer. Now it is the responsibility of the other departments to make sure that they bill this material on time, right? And that is the reason both are important. Okay, period accounting is important from the accounting point of view. From the accounting point of view, we just worry about the period accounting. But from the sales point of view, we also need to consider the cost of sales accounting. Okay, and for period accounting, normally we use account-based COPA. Okay, now let me tell you the difference between account-based COPA and costing-based COPA. So there are two types of profitability analysis. One is account-based COPA, okay, and second is costing-based COPA. Okay, in costing-based COPA, the values in COPA comes from SD directly. Okay, there is no need that the values will only flow from FI. Normally, whatever we understood till now in controlling, the values either will flow from CO directly if you are making the secondary postings. But it is also possible in costing based COPA to get the values from SD, to get the values from MM, to get the values directly from CO, or to get the values directly from FI. Okay, so in costing based COPA, I can get the values from SD, MM, CO, and FI. And that is the reason it is no more dependent. It is not dependent on financial postings because I can get the values directly from SD and MM also. Okay, but when it comes to account based COPA will only get the values from FI and CO. And that is the reason it is always, just remember, account based COPA will always reconcile with financial accounting. Okay, at any point of time, whatever postings will go to account-based COPA, they will flow from FI, and that is the reason your financial accounting and account-based COPA will definitely match. Okay, but in case of costing-based COPA, definitely it will not match because the values are also flowing from SD and MM. Okay, so let's say in FI I have 100 quantity, but in SD and MM there are more number of quantities. Okay, so definitely in that case the cost will not match. Okay, so may not reconcile with FI. Okay, so account-based COPA will always reconcile with your financial accounting, while costing-based COPA may not reconcile. Okay, so you need to remember these two things. Account-based COPA will always reconcile, costing-based COPA may not reconcile. Okay, and now the question is then which is good? Which one we should use? We should use account-based COPA or we should use costing-based COPA? Okay, so most of the companies, they are using costing-based COPA, although it is not reconciling with FI, but they still use costing-based COPA because the purpose of COPA is profitability reporting. It is not about how much we sold in a month and how much the cost was in a month. That we can easily get in FI. Right? Why we are using COPA? Because we want to use the profitability reporting, and this profitability reportings are normally not relevant for financial accounting. These profitability reportings are more relevant for sales. Okay, because we are looking at the sales reporting from different angles. We are looking from the profitability reporting from the more angles, right? And that is the reason customers prefer to use costing-based COPA. Okay, but what is the problem? Because it is not reconciling completely with FI, so there are some deviations in the month end. Okay, that is the reason there are some challenges in the costing based COPA. Okay, but still it is better because the whole purpose of COPA is to get sales and profitability reportings which cannot be got from the account based COPA. Any questions till now? Okay, just give me a minute. Yes, any questions? Clear now what is account-based COPA, what is costing-based COPA? Okay. Now another important thing which you need to remember between account-based COPA and costing-based COPA is, because in account-based COPA values are flowing from FI, so the values will come from GL. Whatever you will post in GL, GL will send the values, or maybe you will be able to see the reports. Reports are available via GL accounts. Okay, so whatever is posted in GL accounts, that will appear in account-based COPA. What do you think in costing-based COPA? Because the values are not only coming from FI, the values are coming from SD and MM also. So how will they flow? So here in account-based COPA, it is using GLs. What do you think will be used in case of costing-based COPA? You cannot use GLs, right? GLs will be available definitely, but what about the values from SD and MM?
Production and sales
Revenue,
order.
revenue,
Sorry?
discounts,
No, revenue, yeah, revenue discounts, yes, whatever. But what is that field which is called as the what exactly you want to see? Here you,
Sales order, production order.
these are characteristics.
Okay.
Okay, so those are called as value fields, if you remember. Reports are based on value fields. You must have heard in COPA there are two important things: characteristics, which means what dimensions, and what you want to see. You want to see revenue, you want to see discounts, you want to see expenses. All these are called as value fields. So reports are available based on the value fields. Just remember this thing. This is a very important question in the interviews as well as the certification exams. Will I use value fields in account-based COPA? Definitely not. In account-based COPA, value fields doesn't play any role. Value fields are only relevant in case of costing-based COPA. Okay, so that is the basic difference between account-based COPA and costing-based COPA. And there are a lot of differences in terms of how the data is stored in the tables. That is the reason, instead of showing you on the notepad, let me share my screen, which I will share this one, the PPT which I have prepared. I'll also share the PPT with you later on. So just give me a minute. Let me download this PPT first of all. Okay, let me know if you are able to see the PPT now. Can you see?
No. Can
you see now?
Yes.
Okay.
Analysis.
Yes. So this is a PPT which will I'll try to explain what exactly is COPA. Okay, so just now we discussed profitability is a subcomponent of SAP controlling. Okay, there are two types of profitability analysis: account-based and costing-based. So the reportings in profitability analysis focuses on sales, marketing, and product management areas. Due to high degree of integration of financial accounting and controlling with logical components, profitability analysis greatly depends on the definition of the correct value flows. That is very important, okay, because profitability analysis is again going to get the values from different areas. Okay, as I told you, you can get the values from FI, You can get the values from CO, SD. So you need to be very careful when you are telling the system how are you going to get the values. This is all about configuration. In the configuration, you have to tell the system how the values will flow from SD, FI, CO to SAP COPA. Okay, you rarely create postings in profitability analysis. Normally, we don't do anything directly in profitability analysis. Although this is possible, I can directly post something into the profitability segment. But most of the time, 99% of the time, postings to COPA are flown via the other modules. Okay, so instead, profitability analysis will get the postings from previous components and the formats. The profitability segment may contain several characteristics. I gave you the example. You can have material, you can have customer, material group, customer group, country, and other specific characteristics. Okay, so there are a lot of characteristics which are standard delivered. You can use whatever you want. In addition to the standard delivered characteristics, you can also create your own characteristics and you can define the values. Okay, so we will see in detail. So this is a cost accounting method. We don't need to worry about this much, but just remember the period accounting and cost of sales accounting that I told you. Okay, so now let's talk about the costing based COPA. Costing based COPA is currently used in the SAP system. As I told you, most of the customers, they are using costing based COPA. To set up the profitability analysis, you have to define characteristics and value fields. Value fields are only used in costing based COPA. Okay, characteristics includes, for example, customer, article, material group we just now discussed. And value fields are the group of costs. For example, what is the sales, what is the discount, what is the material cost. These are the value fields. Okay, so characteristics means the columns. I want to see the profitability based on my customer group, material group, region, product. Okay, so these are the characteristics. But what I want to see the total sales minus discount minus expenses, which will become my profitability. So these three things, sales, cost, as well as the discount, are my value fields. The number of value fields in the profitability analysis is restricted to 120 fields per operating concern. This is one of the very important question which comes in the exam. You cannot have more than 120 value fields in one operating concern, but 120 is too much. Okay, normally if you ask me how many value fields are normally used, maybe 20, 25 are more than enough. Okay, but there is a restriction of 120 value fields per operating concern. Costing based profitability analysis isn't bound to any structures, but it is delivered empty by SAP. Okay, so SAP also gives you the basic structure of the costing based profitability analysis. When you are creating, it provides you the option to use that, or you can use completely new one. You can create a completely new operating concern. So when defining the operating concern, the organizational elements of profitability analysis, you can decide what characteristics you want, what value fields you want. Okay, costing based profitability analysis receives the data from different components we just now discussed. We don't need to go into this. And the interface to profitability analysis determines to which value fields and characteristics the values of the previous. So as I told you, the values, okay, where exactly the system will get the values from, that we need to define in the configuration, the actual values as well as the planned values. Okay, so how the values flow in costing based COPA, you can see the values can directly go from SD, they can go from FI, they can even go from FI, they can go from, this is a controlling module, product costing, overhead costing, PS, or direct. Okay, so direct option is also available, but there are a lot of other options also available through which the values will flow from other components to account based COPA, sorry, to costing based COPA. Okay, so you can see these are the value fields, sales quantity. So value fields is not only the values, it can be quantity also. If I want to know the quantity wise report, I want to know customer wise, product wise, region wise, how much quantity we sold for a particular product. So even that report I can get in COPA. Okay, so this is how the values are flowing. When it comes to reconciling with financial accounting, as I told you, whenever you want to reconcile the costing based COPA to the financial accounting, it is difficult. So mapping the costing based profitability analysis in cost of sales accounting is one of the major challenges when you want to reconcile with financial accounting. Okay, so the normal SAP, why there is a reconciliation problem? The reason is the values are directly coming from SD. Okay, this is one example. So in SAP SD, the standard process is the customer order is created, the delivery is created, and then the goods issue is posted. So when the invoice is created and transferred to financial accounting, sales are posted. In FI, we will only get the sales posting when the invoice is posted in FI. Okay, while in case of SD, sales and cost are transferred to the profitability analysis. This is in case of financial accounting. Sales postings and good issue posting in financial accounting are thus decoupled. Decoupled means there is a difference. Okay, however, costing based COPA receives the posting in a document. So consequently, you have to analyze the accrue good issues in financial accounting at the end of the month. Don't worry about this, I'll talk about this. So with S4HANA, the data model for costing based COPA remains unchanged. Okay, let me explain this difference is what I talked about. See, what happens is when you are doing the SD process, you create a customer order, you do the delivery, and finally you issue the goods, and last one is you bill. Okay, so can you tell me in financial accounting, when is COGS booked? At what stage? COGS account is debited at what stage? When you create a customer order, is there any accounting entry?
No. At the time
When
of
you
post
create
issue.
At the time of
at the time of PGI. PGI means goods issue, right? Post good issue. So at the time of PGI in financial accounting, the COGS is booked. When it comes to COPA, when it comes to costing based COPA, COGS is booked at the time of billing. You can see here when the invoice is created and transferred to financial accounting, sales are booked in the profitability analysis. So this is one example where there is a difference between financial accounting and costing based COPA. Okay, and that is the reason the time at which the postings are made in costing based COPA and in financial accounting, there is a mismatch. Okay, and that is the reason it is decoupled. Okay, so that is the reason there are some major differences between financial accounting and costing based COPA. Okay, and just remember one last thing. With SAP S4HANA Finance, the data model for costing based COPA profitability analysis remains unchanged. This means even in S4HANA, there is no change in costing based COPA. Okay, so costing based COPA, the way in which we were using earlier in ECC will remain same. There is no change in costing based COPA when it comes to S4HANA. Whatever changes are done in S4HANA related to COPA, those are only related to account based COPA. Okay, costing based COPA, there is no change, and there is a reason. SAP is recommending customers to move to account based COPA now. Going forward, they want all the customers to move from costing based COPA to account based COPA. Okay, and that is the reason whatever features were only available in costing based COPA till now, SAP is trying to bring those features in account based COPA. Okay, and every version, SAP is adding new things in account based COPA so that going forward, there is no confusion, only account based COPA would be used. But as of today, if a customer still wants to continue using costing based COPA, they can continue. Okay, but they will not find any difference. Whatever tables were used in the background, whatever functionalities, whatever configuration, whatever master data, everything will remain same in case of costing based COPA. Okay, so costing based COPA, no change at all in S4HANA. So these are the tables which we were using in costing based COPA in ECC. As soon as you create operating concern and you say that this operating concern will follow costing based COPA, all these tables are automatically created in the background. Okay, and which will remain even today in S4HANA also. If you create a costing based COPA, if you create operating concern, all these tables will still remain. Okay, so I'll provide you this list so that you can use this list for your understanding. Okay, so finally, costing based COPA summary, only cost of sales accounting is supported. Rows and characteristics determines the structure. SAP S/4HANA doesn't add any new functionalities. SAP HANA database improves the performance. Okay, so although there is no change in costing based COPA, but still, because in the background earlier we were using traditional databases which were slow, now we are using SAP HANA in the background. In costing based COPA also you'll be able to see the improvement in the performance. Okay, and runtime errors and long wait times no longer play a role. So there will not be runtime errors and there will not be long wait times because we are using SAP HANA database in the background. Okay, now coming to account based COPA. So in contrast to costing based COPA, traditional account based COPA uses cost element instead of value fields. Okay, so I told you GL accounts and cost elements both are important. Okay, so maybe instead of GL accounts you could also remember the cost elements. Okay, because we are talking about the controlling component. So in account based COPA we don't use the value fields. Instead we use the cost elements. So account based COPA hasn't been used a lot in the real world. Why? Due to its restricted functions available in ECC. There are some restrictions in ECC due to which it is not used that much in the industry. In S/4HANA, account-based COPA uses GL accounts. Now, can you tell me why I told you GL accounts, then value fields, and again GL accounts? If you are able to correlate what is happening in S/4HANA. In S/4HANA, GL accounts and cost elements are one and the same thing, right? They are merged. Okay, so even the secondary cost elements are also called as secondary cost GL accounts, right? That is the reason in S/4HANA account-based COPA uses GL accounts. SAP S/4HANA Finance enhances traditional account-based profitability analysis and adds various functions to account-based profitability analysis. So as I told you, there are a lot of new functionalities which SAP is adding into account-based COPA so that whatever were the challenges in ECC, those should be recovered, and then going forward, they are asking each and every customer to use account-based COPA and drop costing-based COPA. Okay, so costing-based COPA is not the future product from SAP. SAP will definitely decommission it once all the functionalities are available in account-based COPA. Okay, so as of now, what are the functionalities which are new in S/4HANA when it comes to account-based COPA, which are not available in ECC are COGS split. Okay, don't worry, we will talk about this in detail. If you already gone through my FI sessions, I think we already discussed what is COGS split. We have seen the example also, but since this is controlling, we will go in detail. Okay, so COGS split, variance split, and the quantity fields. So earlier there were no quantity fields in account-based COPA. Okay, if I want to know total sales quantity, it was only available in costing-based COPA because account-based COPA was only taking the values from financial accounting, and in financial accounting we only have values. We don't have the quantity column there, which is now included. Okay, so you can do the COGS split, you can do the variance split, and you can also go through the quantity fields. Okay, what are the tables in account-based COPA? So I divided this into two parts. What were the tables in SAP ECC? There was a table COEJ, COEP, COSS, and COSP. These were the four tables which were used in ECC. Okay, what is the purpose? The first one is for the actual and plan line items by fiscal year. Second one is actual and plan line items for account-based COPA without fiscal year. COSS is secondary cost totals, and so COSS and COSP, these are the aggregate tables, totals tables, like Fagel Flexi we have in FI. Right now, you already know in S/4HANA there is no place for totals table. So what is changed in S/4HANA? In SAP S/4HANA, the data of account-based profitability analysis is directly stored in ACDoc. If you remember again my FI sessions, I told you that there were 5 subcomponents: FI, CO, account-based COPA, material ledger, and asset accounting. all these 5 components in ECC, they were storing the data in their own tables. Okay, but in S4HANA, all these 5 components are merged together, and the values from all these 5 components will be stored in one single table, that is AC.A. Okay, so even account-based COPA values will get stored in AC.A. So when you are going for the interviews, and if somebody is asking you, if I post anything in COPA, will it go to AC.A? The answer is no, straightforward yes. The answer is, if you are using costing-based COPA will still use its own tables, old tables. But when it comes to account-based COPA, yes, all the postings will go to AC.A. Okay, so costing-based COPA is not going to post anything in AC.A. Only account-based COPA is going to post in AC.A. Okay, so the integration of account-based COPA into Universal Journal provides many advantages, such as adding further characteristics, storing the data in real time, and providing simplified reconciliation with financial accounting. Now, since all the data will be available at one single place, it will provide a real-time, faster reporting, right? And you can map the account-based profitability analysis in cost of sales accounting or period end accounting. So you can use the account-based COPA in both cost of sales accounting also and period accounting also. Okay, and that is the whole purpose. We want the account-based COPA to be used in cost of sales accounting also. So SAP is trying to bring more and more features through which you can get the values from SD and MM also without touching the reconciliation issues. Okay, so that is something which we'll discuss in detail, how SAP makes sure that this reconciliation is still maintained. Okay, let's go to the next one. So just a comparison of costing-based COPA with account-based COPA. So in costing-based COPA, the cost collector is value fields, and here it is cost elements. In S4HANA, it is GL account. What about reconciliation? In costing-based COPA, no reconciliation. In account-based COPA, yes. Even in ECC, it was yes, and even in S4HANA, it is yes. Valuation, you can do the valuation with different costing variants. Okay, this means the values when it comes from the product costing. Okay, we will see this practically. Okay, so values will directly come from the costing variant. There is different costing variants, and here the valuation only with operational valuation in financial accounting, because you cannot get the values from other components. It will come from financial accounting only. When it comes to COGS split, in ECC, COGS split was only possible in costing-based COPA. So in costing-based COPA, COGS split is possible. But in account-based COPA, in ECC, it was not possible. There was only one GL account for COGS. Okay, but in S4HANA, now again, it is possible with account-based COPA also. Same goes for variance also. Okay, variance split is also possible in account-based COPA in S4HANA. So what does SAP recommends? What to use? Whether to use account-based or costing-based. If you have already used costing-based COPA, if you are already using costing-based COPA so far, SAP recommends activating account-based COPA, because SAP will further enhance it in future and provide additional functions. So even if you are using costing-based COPA, SAP is not saying no, deactivate the costing-based COPA and only use account-based COPA. No, you can use both in parallel. So what SAP is saying is, even if you are using costing-based COPA, then also activate account-based COPA. Okay, if you are not using, then also activate account-based COPA. So if you are currently using costing-based COPA and want to continue using it, you should additionally activate the account-based COPA. This doesn't result in larger data volumes because the account-based COPA documents are integrated in AC.A. See, in ECC, if I ask you to activate both costing-based as well as account-based, there will be definitely a lot of duplication. Okay, it will result in large volume of data in the database. But now when we are talking about S4HANA, because the data is getting stored in AC.A, definitely the duplication will be there, because costing-based COPA is also storing the data in old tables. But if you compare it with ECC tables, account-based COPA is simplified and there will be less volume of data. Okay, and if you are not using profitability analysis at all, you should also activate account-based COPA in S/4HANA Finance. You should only activate costing-based COPA if one of the following criteria is met. Okay, you should only activate costing-based COPA. Account-based COPA can be activated without any criteria, but when it comes to costing-based COPA, you should only activate if one of the following is met. You want the sales order stock, which is not possible in account-based COPA, so you have to use costing-based COPA. If you want the statistical conditions, which are still not supported, if you want alternative valuation for different costing variants, or if you want the splitting of accounts in the value fields. Okay, so these are some examples in which you can use costing-based COPA, and SAP is trying to solve this so that these features can also be introduced in account-based COPA. So going forward, all these features will be available in account-based COPA, and you no need costing-based anymore. Okay, what is next? Next is configuration. How to set up the controlling, how to set up the operating concern, how to add the characteristics, how to add the value fields. Okay, so we will talk about that. As of now, any question? Now you understood the basic difference between costing based and account based. So just to summarize, COPA is a profitability analysis tool which provides you the profitability based on different market segments. COPA is having two parts, costing based COPA and account based COPA. In costing based COPA, you are able to see the results coming from other components also, like SD and MM. In account-based COPA, the values will only come from financial accounting or controlling. In case of costing-based COPA, because the values are coming from other modules also, we are values needs to come through the value fields. In case of account-based COPA, because the values are coming from the cost elements, we don't need value fields. There are some problems with account-based COPA. There are some restrictions which SAP is trying to remove, and slowly all the functionalities of costing-based COPA will be available in account-based. That is the reason SAP is asking customers to activate account-based COPA, and going forward, costing-based COPA will not be required. Okay, tables and all I already mentioned. Any questions till now? No? Okay. If not, I will ask Ujay to share his screen because I'm not able to connect to the server from here, so that I can show you how to configure the COPA from scratch. Yes, Ujay, I made you the presenter. Can you just share your screen? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I have the control also. Okay, so where exactly COPA is configured? We will go to controlling. Okay, let's close this, and we will go to the profitability analysis. Within the profitability analysis, the first thing is a structure. Okay, this is where you define the operating concern. Okay, so the top node within FI and CO is operating concern, right? We already seen company code, controlling area. So as of now, controlling area is our top node. One controlling area can be assigned to multiple company codes. But if I want to use profitability analysis, if I want to do profitability reporting, then above the controlling area, I need to set up the operating concern. Okay, so operating concern will come above the controlling area, which means one operating concern can be assigned to multiple controlling areas. Okay, so this is a place where you can go and define the operating concern. Let's open this. Okay, and as I told you, whenever you want to use COPA, you have to tell the system what characteristics you want to use, and you have to tell the system what value fields you want to use. Okay, if you are using costing based COPA, you need value fields. If you are using account based COPA, we can skip this activity. Let's go for the characteristics first. So if I click on display, you can see all characteristics. If I click on display, it will show me whatever characteristics are available in this system, including the Z ones if somebody has created in this system, and the standard ones which are provided by SAP. Okay, so these are all the characteristics. Okay, brand, aircraft type, customer group, area, sales district, industry. So every customer has their own requirement, right? Okay, so based on the scenario, we need to configure, we need to make sure that we create those characteristics. Now, if there are, how many characteristics? There are 73 characteristics defined in this screen. Okay, but it is not necessary that each and every customer will use all the 73 characteristics. What we need to do is, when we set up the operating concern, we have to tell the system out of this 73 characteristics, which one we are going to use. So I think I already created one here. It was there in my this PPT which I'm going to share with you. There is an example also there. So I attached the screenshots also from the same screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, maybe what we will do now, I'll just explain you this through the slides, and then in the next session we will do the practicals once I have the control of the system. Okay, so let me again share my slides. Okay, can you see the slides?
Yes, Gaurav.
Okay. So how to set up the operating concern? So the prerequisite for using profitability analysis is to create an operating concern. If you want to use profitability analysis, you have to create an operating concern. Okay, to start setting up the profitability analysis, you first have to create the operating concern as an organizational element. Okay, you can assign one or more controlling areas to the operating concern. You can see one operating concern with more than 2 controlling areas, another operating concern with 1-to-1 assignment. Okay, so whatever is relevant for you, accordingly you will create the structure. Okay, SAP recommends using one operating concern and assigning all relevant controlling areas to this operating concerns for global reporting. If you want to do the global reporting, it is recommended just use one operating concern and assign it to all the controlling areas. Okay, so because SAP standard doesn't provide for the creation of reports across all reporting concerns. If you are using the SAP standard reporting tool, it is like you can assign it to different controlling areas, but the problem is if you assign multiple operating concerns, then you will not be able to create the global reporting. So again, it depends at what level you want to perform the reports. Okay, so this is SAP BW. We don't need to go into that. In general, SAP recommends activating cross-company code cost accounting due to the use of single operating concern. For more information relevant to choosing whether you should use one or several controlling areas, you can refer to this SAP note. But again, in this SAP note, it will tell you the same thing. What? It will tell you when to use the single operating concern for multiple controlling areas. The answer is same if you want the global reporting. If you are okay with individual reporting, then you can use one single operating concern for one controlling area, which means multiple operating concerns for multiple controlling areas. How to maintain the operating concern? This is a transaction code, this is a path. So controlling profitability analysis, here you will be able to create a controlling area. Okay, so in the maintain operating concern window, enter the name with 4 digits. Okay, I think this I'll explain you practically. Let's see what other things which we need to discuss theoretically. Characteristics. You can assign a maximum of 50 characteristics and 120 value fields to the operating concern. Very important question in the exam. Okay, maximum of 50 characteristics and 120 value fields to the operating concern. If you want to extend, okay, you can see SAP note to extend the assignment. However, this modification isn't recommended because standard code is changed and the problems may occur regarding the release changes. Okay, so forget about this SAP note. If it is very important, if one customer is asking you that no, 50 is not sufficient for me, 120 is not sufficient for me, then you can go to this SAP note, but otherwise it is not relevant. So this scenario is 1 in 100 where the customer will say I'm not happy with this fixed amounts. Okay, so by default, some fixed characteristics are already assigned to each operating concern. Okay, so there are some fixed characteristics, okay, which are already assigned to your company code. Which are those fixed characteristics? You can see product, company code, cost center, billing type, functional area, business area, sales order. These are fixed. Okay, this is something which is already provided by SAP, and you cannot say, oh, I don't want business area to be used. That is by default, it would be available. Even if there are no values in the business area, fine, but this will be definitely there in your operating concern. Okay, in addition to the fixed, you can also add your own characteristics in the next screen. Okay, so this is how you can create your own characteristics. Okay, so in addition to this fixed fields, you can create further characteristics. Okay, and just remember these 4 options. How are you going to create? Creating the characteristics from the SAP tables. Okay, so one option is when you want to create a characteristics, you will use SAP table. I'll give you one example. So let's say city of the customer. Now city of the customer is already available in the address table of the customer, right? You want to add city as a characteristics, and you know that okay, this city I can easily get in this table. So you want to link that table so that the system is automatically able to find the city. So that is the example of creating the characteristics from the SAP table. Second is creating the characteristics with own value maintenance. Okay, now this is something which is not available in the system. Let's say, for example, you have the customers, okay, and you don't have any field in the system which tells you whether this company is registered or unregistered. Okay, just for example, just take this example. There is a customer and I want to know what is the pattern of this customer, whether it is a private limited company, is it a public limited company, is it a proprietor. Again, this is just an example, right? Currently, SAP already provided this field now. Earlier, it was not available, right? So if you want to know whether this is private limited, public limited, now this information is not available in the system automatically. So what you need to do, you need to create a Z table, right? And you need to maintain the values. So this is something which you are doing on your own. Okay, so you are maintaining the values on your own. Next one is creating the characteristics without value maintenance. Okay, without value maintenance means true or false. Okay, so whether it is a group company or not, there is just one tick. Group company, yes, then tick it. If no, just leave it blank. So you are not going to maintain those many fields there. It is just yes or no indicator. And last one is creating the characteristics with reference to the existing values. Okay, I'll show you this with the example. So this is where you can go and you can create the characteristics. We will see some examples. We will create some characteristics from SAP tables, from own value maintenance, without value maintenance, and this also. So this is an example of each and every one. This is how you can see. I'm showing this example. We are copying the values from Mara table. Okay, so I want the values to be copied from Mara. Which table or which field I want? I want material type to be copied. Okay, and remember one thing, whenever you add a new characteristics in your COPA, you need to execute this program so that this new fields which you added should come to ACDocket table. Okay, currently if you go to ACDocket table, if it is showing you let's say 30 characteristics from account based COPA, and if you want to add 2 more, so you will come here and you will add the characteristics, and once that is done, you will go to this program so that these 2 new fields are also added to the table. Okay, this is important. Otherwise, what will happen is when you do this particular thing and you don't execute this, the user will find error. User will get an error that AC dock is not updated after you made the changes to COPA. Right. So this is very important. Whenever you make any changes to characteristics, you must execute this program also. Okay. This is how you can maintain your own values. So you can see this is just kind of your own value maintenance. You can maintain whatever you want.
Hello. I got a engineer.
Hello,
Hello.
Gaurav.